Hey folks, welcome to episode 6, and in episode 6 we're starting to really crank some progress out of this thing. So what you'll see on the schematic is the familiar orange, and you'll see just by looking at that we've completed the wiring of the 6550 tube. It's all complete, and if you look at the tube, we're only really using pins 3, 4, 5, and 8. So we're not 2 and 7 are your filaments, so we're really not using pin 6 here. And you'll see that we've done basically one half of the 12AX7. So we've done pin 6, pin 7, and pin 8 on this side. And we've also started working on our volume pot here and our tone pots. We've also wired in the pot up to this point for the feedback circuit that I told you about. The only thing I have to do there is connect it to the speaker jack. So we're really making some good progress. I haven't built out this this power section yet, and I'll show you why in a minute under the chassis. So we're doing good. As far as real estate goes under the chassis, I think we're doing fairly well here. We've got plenty of room to do what we have to do, and we're keeping things really, really neat. A couple of wires have to get dressed here, obviously, but I'm trying to be really, really thoughtful about how I place these wires down in this chassis. You'll see I've got some ground wires here that are running to a common point just to make sure that we're not having any problems with ground. Over here, you may not be able to see that, it's a little dark in there. We have a 300 ohm 25 watt resistor mounted to the chassis, so it'll dissipate the heat really well, and that goes to the cathode of the 6550. So that's why that has to be so beefy. Over here, we're starting our, this is our pin 8 of our 12AX7. So that's been completed, and this blue wire that you see here, let's see if I can get some better light in here. This blue wire that you see here goes over to the feedback pot that I just installed right here. Okay, our tone controls, we'll tilt that up for a moment. There's our tone controls, and you'll see we've got a wire here running to the volume pot, and we have a wire that connects here between the treble and the volume. And we still haven't connected the bass yet. But in general, we're doing really, really well, and we don't have a lot more to do. Looking at the schematic, this is pretty simple stuff. On this side of the tube, it's basically duplicating what's here, right? So you've got a 25 microfarad cap, 25 volts, a 1.5K resistor coming off of pin 3. Off of pin 1, I've got a 100K resistor, which I have over here as well. And this just ties all to this section here with a 250 pico cap. So, pretty simple stuff here. And then all we need to do is put in our two inputs, and there's a pair of 68K resistors coming off of the second input, very, very common in a Fender design. And then a different impedance input is going to be a 1 meg resistor, so we're going to have two different inputs on this thing. And then they're almost ready, so you know, I'm going to continue working on this section, and as we fill in the orange, we'll make some good progress. And then we'll connect all of our power right here. I've got one connection here to do, and there'll be one here. Again, two sides of the tube. And then we'll be in really good shape. So let me go finish the wiring, and we'll come back and show you where we are. Okay, everybody. So all we have left to do now, excuse me, are wire in the input jacks. And you'll see our input jacks are right in there. We're going to zoom in so you can see them. Probably have to bring the camera down just a little bit. There's our input jacks. They're not connected under the chassis yet, but that's where they're going to sit. The reason why I've got the amp in the chassis is I wanted to mark off in tape where I need to cut off these pots. And you'll also notice in this hole here, I have our indicator light right there. Lines up perfectly. So, so our next step is going to be to wire up those input jacks, and then we'll be ready to test. Alright, I'm going to end the video here because the next episode will be all about testing this amp. So we are really in the home stretch. All that's left to do is wire these things up, and we will see you guys later. Alright, before I end this one, let me just show you what the back looks like. And that's what she'll look like from the back. Pretty cool, huh? There's our 12AX7. This will be our 6550. Everything's out of the way. I'm going to hardwire that speaker. I'm actually going to flip it around a little bit, and there'll be a hard wire connection that plugs in right here. And this is going to be our feedback pot that we spoke about. The thing that's cool about this cabinet, which I didn't realize also, is that they already have a built-in notch for the cord, right? Because this was the speaker. So when you close it, it already has a place for the cord to come out. Pretty cool. All right, we'll see you in the next episode.